They were beginning to be seen together around town soon after he entered the Senate in 1953. Two dazzling stars in Washington's normally dull firmament. Jack Kennedy was 35 years old, the most sought-after bachelor in the Capitol. Jacqueline Bouvier was a shy 23-year-old beauty, the belle of Manhattan, East Hampton, and Newport. The couple had met at a dinner party 2 years earlier and had been warily circling one another ever since.
She was engaged when she met him, and she broke it off very quickly. She wrote in her diary that she had an intimation that Jack would have a profound and possibly disturbing effect on her life, but he was worth it. She once said to her sister that to her, imagination was the most important thing she wanted to find in a man, and she said that's very difficult to find. From his standpoint, she was very different from the women that he'd known, which were primarily his own sisters. Eunice and Pat and Jean were what one of his friends said, tawny, coltish women. They were energetic, and they were athletic, and they were outspoken. Jackie, by contrast, was cerebral and soft-spoken, and they both had a kind of dry and sly wit.
The romance was carried out largely in the public eye. And when Jackie agreed to marry the senator in the summer of 1953, the press was invited to share the joy.
They were so beautiful. They were so young. She was very stylish. Somebody in the New York Times wrote that she made the world safe for brunettes again.
Jackie was smart, gorgeous, and although she had not been born into a political family, she knew precisely what to say.
Jack's closest friend, Lem Billings, actually warned her before they were married that she was going to be marrying a man who was known for his womanizing, and that it was unlikely that he would stop. And she later said that instead of being put off by what Billings said, she actually viewed it as kind of a challenge.
The Kennedys were married last month. They're still looking for a place to live in Washington. On weekdays, they stay up in Boston. But so much for the history. Let's go and meet the newlyweds. Are you there, Senator?
Yes, right here, Mr. Morrow.
Good evening, sir.
Thank you.
Good evening, Mrs. Kennedy.
Good evening.
I understand that the two of you had a very much publicized courtship. How did the two of you meet?
We met at the house of a friend about 2 years ago.
And you used to be a reporter, didn't you?
Yes, I did.
And you first met the senator when you interviewed him.
Well, I interviewed him shortly after I met him.
Well, now, which requires the most diplomacy, to interview senators or to be married to one?
Well, I think
Being married to one, I guess.
Well, have you opened all your wedding gifts?
Well, I've opened quite a few of them, and I've sent them all to Washington. We just have a couple back here.
Aha. Senator, I wonder if you would show us around your apartment a bit?
Certainly will. Fine, Mr. Morrow.
Okay.
This, I remember when you were over in England, and I thought you might remember this picture that was taken when my family were all over there in 1939 when my father was ambassador.
Oh, I remember it very well. There he is in the center, isn't he?
Yes, that's right, and I have my 8 brothers and sisters. That's almost the last time we were all taken together, and brings back happy memories. But I see that my wife is back, so we'll get back to...
I brought you one of the wedding presents, which I think is Jack's favorite, which he's always throwing around this apartment.
Well, this present was a present from Jim Farrell, who was in charge of handing out athletic equipment when I was at college. at Harvard, and he's still doing it. This probably was the football that Harvard was going to use for its first game, but in any case, he sent it to me, and I certainly appreciated it, and I must say it's probably my favorite.
Senator Kennedy, thank you very much for letting us come to visit you, and will you also express our thanks to Mrs. Kennedy?
Thank you very much, Mr. Morrow. I'm sure we appreciate it very much.